Hello everybody. This week I'm delighted to be joined by our green team. Two colleagues that have been at the cutting edge for the last number of years in IT Sligo, now ATU Sligo, and pushing the boat out on what we're doing in this whole sustainability area. So this week we had the Sustainability Futures Conference. So I'm going to introduce them first and then we'll talk a little bit about that. So first of all, ladies first. So Fiona, when did you join ATU Sligo?
I joined ATU Sligo back in September 2019. I started as a sustainability officer. So I worked for 3 years in that role, and then in the last year I've moved to teaching full time. So I'm now lecturing in sustainability and regulatory affairs in the Department of Environmental Science.
And Declan, tell us a bit about yourself. When did you join the college? What are you doing here?
I feel like I've been here forever. I've been lecturing for around 15 years. I started off lecturing in the environmental science program and then moved from teaching full-time to teaching online. So I've been kind of involved in, I think, nearly all aspects of the environmental program now that we've had here. And we've expanded, of course, now to our online courses, and we've started, of course, our Sustainable Futures program with UCC and Maynooth.
What is the Sustainable Futures program? Because I popped into the start of the seminar this morning and I was very impressed. But tell colleagues a little bit about it.
Well, we were very fortunate to be part of the consortium between UCC and NUI Maynooth to get funding from the HCI program. That gave us the springboard to be able to bring 3 universities together and develop initially a master's program. That's broadened out now to involve kind of higher certificate or higher diploma, those sort of courses within it. So we're now teaching alongside university colleagues at Maynooth and UCC to a broad range of level 9 students who are coming predominantly from industry. So they're usually actually a mix of SME but also large industry as well. So there's been everyone from Amazon right through to small family businesses that recognise that we want to actually transition our industrial base to sustainability. So the program's called Sustainable Futures, but the level 9 master's program itself is sustainability with enterprise. So it's an enterprise-based program. So we provide very much the environmental, ecology, sustainability pillar, including things like carbon accounting. Maynooth provide a lot of the business expertise, and then Cork were the main players in it, and they provide a lot of the engineering aspects and also sustainable futures aspects as well. So we've got a good team. It's been nice because we've been working on a stage that's not just local to Northwest but across the whole of Ireland. We've pulled in students from around the world as well to the program because it's online, of course.
Isn't that just fantastic? And the name we have in Sligo for what we're doing in the whole environmental science, and I know head of department Frances Lucy is also part of the green team here, which yourselves has been leading out on this for many years. Now, just to tell colleagues, over the last few months since I came in as head of college, myself, Frances, Declan and Fiona have been talking about the whole green campus initiative here at Sligo and how we can lead forward as it while we're in this transition. You know, we're working through different organisation structures and so on and so forth. We know we don't have a sustainability officer at the moment, so we've come up with a plan. And maybe we just talk a little bit about what we're thinking of.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges I had in the sustainability officer role was trying to bring cohesion. There's so many projects going on all around campus. People used me as a way to, I guess, communicate what they were doing, get supports, but also to connect to other people on campus. And it was a really good way of networking, building up support and communicating what we were doing. And we don't want to lose that. So one of the things that we're trying to look at to see, in the meantime, we definitely need somebody to champion this going forward. But in the interim, we'd love to try and get some sort of repository within different faculties where people can populate within that what they're working on, how it connects to sustainability, who's leading out on it, who's involved. Very simple, one line of information, but that we have then a channel, we know where we can go and how we can connect. And I think even that piece alone, just to capture the information, is a really important first step.
Yeah, and I know I've reached out to all the heads of faculty and also the heads of function, because we're putting together a little Green Champions group that all together will be working on to populate this repository and share of what's going on, because there's some great things going on campus. And wasn't it great to see O'Hare's do what they did, that you led out on? You want to talk a bit about that?
They've just gone forward, that they've really pushed themselves forward in the fact that they've removed the paper cups. They've taken that challenge on themselves, and I think in some ways we need to be kind of bold in this area, and we need to kind of push ourselves a bit further. They've brought in their whole green wall. They're looking at how they move away from single-use plastics, and they're doing it proactively because they know a lot of this is going to come down the track to them, and they soon want to have this out of the way. And it's not just a need to do, they want to do it. They want it because they recognise that their customer base, both staff, but particularly students, they expect now that we transition away from the use of plastics, single-use plastics, to bins, the waste streams. They want to see recycling occurring, they want to see minimising waste. They want to see us as a campus to be more sustainable in everything we do.
I think we could copy a lot of their ambition.
Yeah,
you know,
should,
Des there is just brilliant to work with, and you know, it's supported obviously by Michael O'Hare at the top. He has been a champion of this. They're part of the Origin Green, but they were a pleasure to work with during my time as sustainability officer. But they've also brought in John Keegan, who has been delivering all this. He's been rolling it out. And it's just great, like you say, we did a lot of the paving the way, we did so much engagement around what people wanted, what we could do, we had the research done, we had a plan in place, but you know, they turned that planning into action, they delivered it, and I just think, every time I walk in now, and there's no paper cups, even the branding, the green wall as you go in, the planting, I just think the messaging, it's something that we should be capturing, and we should be following their example and doing more of it. That's our...
Yeah, and actually they've helped the entire campus, because up to now our recycle rate was pretty poor because most of our waste was being contaminated with paper cups. There were waste water, waste liquids, coffee and tea, and spilling across all materials, and all that went to waste.
Yeah.
But the fact that we removed all those paper cups from campus now means that the recycled materials are recyclable, and that means that our recycle rate across the campus is going to go up, and it means that the estates are being really benefited by that action.
And that's just an example of one initiative that's mushroomed based on what she initially started. But I know we have great plans. I know our president, Dr. Orla Flynn, is very much behind this. We know the strategic plan that Des has been laying out on, the 17 rooms and the sustainability goals. So onwards and upwards in what we're going to do. We want to be a lead university in this space, and the EU Green Alliance we're part of, so it's all going in that direction. So I want to just thank you for all that you've done so far. We're only still at the very early stages of what we can do. I'm going to finish by asking you, Fiona, is there anything about yourself you'd like to share with colleagues?
Well, in my part-time, I like to run, so I'm going to Berlin at the weekend to run the half marathon.
Wow!
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Wishing you all the best now.
Thank you.
Great. What about you, Declan?
I knew you were going to ask me that question. Well, I used to surf, but I still try to surf. Well, I still can.
Where do you surf?
I surf in Strandhill and also in Street, and sometimes in Rossnell and Donegal, maybe in Mayo if I can, yeah. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you both for being my guests.
Thanks very much.
Happy Easter, everybody.